Hello everybody and welcome back to the shop in part 3 of the pergola build. If you haven't seen the previous 2 videos, I'll put a link up here in the top to take you to the first video. Otherwise, let's get on with finishing up this entire pool deck project. Alright, well I want to give you a quick look at how far we got to the point where the Florida State bird started to come out last night, aka blood-sucking pterodactyl or the Florida mosquito. When it starts to get dark here, they come out, they can carry away a small boy or an elephant. So we tend to duck inside when it gets to be about dusk. This is how far we got last night. The first little bit here is the most time-consuming part of it. One, you got to make sure that this curve is working out right. When I was doing that one over there, it probably took me a full 8-hour day to get a little farther than here. Now that we have the length measurements, we know where we are to be real close. This is going pretty fast, but what becomes critical, let me show you here, is that this piece here stays at a perfect right angle to the rafters and that they run parallel with the beam across the back. Now, seems simple enough, right? Well, not as simple as you might think. The way we're controlling our spacing, we made up some of these, and this is just a 2x4 that's been ripped to the proper width here, which is 2.5 inches. And then we took a bunch of drops when I cut this angle, right? See that angle? And we just made these, put a couple screws in. Actually, it's JB's idea. We can just take them and they drop in right there. And over the course of the run there, we can pop in several spacers, pull them over. But no matter what, this thing, as you work, it wants to grow on one side or the other. So you have to keep taking measurements off the back, say like every 3, and maybe adjust it 1/4 inch, because you want to keep that curve true, but you want to keep the straightness true, because when you get to the end, the very last 1 or 2, you don't want to have them hanging off, you know, on that side over there and have that much gap on this side. The way we're fastening them up here, just using a neoprene washer on top of a 3-inch self-drilling screw. So we drill a pilot hole right through, goes into the top of this. This thing is tied together real solid, it can't go anywhere. The neoprene keeps any water from getting down in here. I mean, it's not like if a little bit gets in there, it hurts anything, but what it does do is slows corrosion from happening. You can't keep it from happening. As far as screwing sequence, the first few, there's no way to make it work. But what we do is we go into every other rafter. Once we get out here, we'll hit every other rafter, and then the next one we'll skip and hit the ones that we didn't hit before. So it'll be an either or. It doesn't really work out well here because in the end you want to capture every end, and these are real short, so you wind up hitting almost all of them. All right, just to show you how this works, here's a piece of that 2x2 tubing from up top. It's a little dropped off piece. You can see the end would be exposed, and the little clips we cut. The little clip just goes over the end like that. Put a pop rivet in the top, pop rivet in the bottom. It goes real fast. Now, once all of these clips are cut, one of the things we got to do is we have to deburr the edges, drill a hole here, drill a hole there. That'll be for the pop rivet. They're 1/8-inch pop rivets. And then we'll put a Sherwin-Williams product that I came across on here. It's a Sherwin-Williams paint that goes directly to aluminum. It actually seems to stick really, really well. All we're doing is taking the shiny off it so that you don't see an exposed shiny edge. All we're doing is taking the shiny off it so you don't see an exposed shiny edge. It's not like it's gonna have a lot of, you know, wear or abrasion against it. So the material I'm gonna be using here is the narrower of the receiving channel, and that's literally all my clips are. They're a narrow receiving channel cut into little pieces. They go right on the end. So a couple of pointers here. Make sure your saw is square. You can see my table's off a little bit here. One of the things I did is I checked my speed square. I checked the squareness of the saw to the table and the squareness to the fence. It's pretty good. I put a mark here on the table as to where I want to cut to, and I'm just going to cut these out. I need about 110 of them. So it's just a methodical cut process. Once you get the rhythm going, it goes pretty fast. And we just cut out a box of them, then we'll go in there and deburr them and drill the holes in them. All right, so we're at the very last step. Here are the little end caps that we made on the saw, and then we drilled the holes in, and then we put the paint on to match it. And there's what they look like. And so what they do is they dress off the end here, and they just fit on there like so, like that. And then we put a pop rivet in the top and a pop rivet in the bottom. We've already got this one set up and drilled. And JB's gonna pop rivet it for me while I hold the camera. Pneumatic pop rivet gun is the cat's meow when you gotta do like 1,000 pop rivets. It's a precision fit hole, exactly 1/8 of an inch for a 1/8 of an inch rivet. Basically, we'll continue this on all the way for all the rest of these here on this side and then around on the other side. And other than dressing up a couple other little tiny details, we're getting close to being done. We've completed all of the end caps here on the end, all the way around the whole top. And one of the last little things we need to button up are these pieces. Again, this is the deeper of the two receiving channels, and it's going to fit right here and cover that up so we don't get wasps and whatnot getting in there. It's going to go in there just like that. Let me grab a soft face hide hammer. Gives it a nice dressed off look. What I'll do is drill 2 holes and either put 2 pop rivets or 2 stainless self-drilling screws right there to hold it in place. And the only other issue that we have is right here. All our wiring. We're just going to bend that over. I like my wire nuts always facing up. That way if water for whatever reason gets in there, it doesn't hold in my wire nuts. And then what we got here is the pyramid cap. And the pyramid cap goes on just like that. And there'll be a little set screw that I put in to hold the pyramid cap on there. I'm not going to do that on camera because it's back up in there a little bit tricky. But that keeps the weather out and dresses it all off. And that is literally just about the end of the project. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon right now, 1:30. See, the shade is headed that way. And the shade from that one is headed outside the pool. So if you want to sit here, you can move these lounge chairs if you want to stay in the shade. Or you can move those over if you want to be in the sun. A couple of upcoming projects. Back there at the back, we're going to figure out a way to hang those pool poles. Right now, they're just sitting on the pool deck back there. I don't like that. Got a couple ideas. That might be an upcoming video. We got to do the shower install there. That might be an upcoming video. Also, I'm not sure what I'm going to do about these foot wash stations because I'm going to put a foot wash in for the kids because they're killing my pool filter running in and out of the pool. The pool deck, if you guys remember back to the video I did, if you haven't seen the video, I'll put a link up here in the top to the worst paver company on the planet. Never buy pavers from this company. There's a video on that on the channel on getting this pool deck put down. Thank goodness I had an amazing installer who managed to pull this off. Project is done. Super happy with it. It's probably about 10 degrees cooler in the shade than it is out here on the pool deck in the sun. So it's really, really nice. Here's something else I did that we didn't talk about before they resurfaced the pool. I came out here with a rotary hammer and broke holes in the pool. And then I used hydraulic cement and put PVC pipe with caps. And I did it in 5 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can move that umbrella around to keep the shade. You know, if the kids want to play in here, especially the baby, he plays here. So in the afternoon, I can move it over here and he gets shade there. Or if adults are swimming and they like to float in the deep water and be there, they can get some shade from that one. I'd like to give a real quick shout out to my buddy JB Wright. Wave to the camera, JB, because you can't run from the camera. See, that's how you do it. You get him up there where he can't run from the camera, and then you make him say hi. Who was always willing to come here and give me a hand, setting posts, setting beams, pulling wire, doing all the things that a guy by himself sometimes has a rough time doing. Also, a shout out to Gene at Magnata Empire. Gene's the guy who laid all the pavers, did all the paver and deck work here. An amazing, talented, and good human being all around. Now, Gene has a YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below to Gene's YouTube channel. Be sure to go over and give him a like and subscribe. Super talented guy. You can learn a lot of things from him. Great person. I hope this has inspired you to get out and try these kind of things at home on your own. I'm so glad we did this project, but I'm glad it's over. I'd like to give everybody a big thanks for watching, and we'll see you real soon.